Hi everyone. You are welcome. Today I am presenting you with an essay-type audio text which is about the visit of former US President Bill Clinton to India on 19th March 2000. If you are practicing English speaking, this essay will be very helpful. So, try to listen to and read it not just once but repeatedly, so you can understand its sentence structure and easily construct any sentence you want. So, let's listen to today's topic. Let's go. The preeminence of America today is taken for granted. America wields huge influence, whether it is over the world economy or on institutions like the United Nations Organization, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. The buzzwords of the 21st century, like liberalization and globalization, are actually the mantras given by the USA. So when the US president announced his visit, India had to pay attention, especially after the nuclearization of the subcontinent and the Kargil conflict. It was important from the US point of view also. For long the US viewed India as having a pro-Soviet tilt and assiduously cultivated Pakistan for its other strategic Cold War interests. It was a policy spearheaded by Henry Kissinger under the Nixon presidency, but much has changed since then. The collapse of the Soviet Union, the fear of Islamic terrorism in US's own backyard and realization of India's economic potential have obliged the US to view us differently. Today the US recognizes India as a regional power and wants to pursue a relationship with us independent of Pakistan. The fact that President Bill Clinton, full name William Jefferson Clinton, chose to spend 5 days in India and only a few hours in Pakistan was a good indication of that. Tightest ever security arrangements were made for the President Clinton's visit. Till 4 days before Clinton's arrival, American aircraft had made 50 sorties to India ferrying the men and machines needed for his security. The President's security setup included 200 men from the Secret Service which formed the first ring around Clinton. There were 100 US Marines, 30 bulletproof cars, tons of equipment and cables, a dozen choppers, 2 US Army trucks and a Labrador that can sniff out explosives. The US security took over the entire Maurice Cherteau Hotel, sealed it and sanitized all the 400 rooms for the President's stay. The Secret Service agents wired the entire hotel with bugs and taps, CCTVs and high-frequency remote explosive jammers, besides deploying 4 spy satellites to track movement. The US and Indian intelligence agencies worked out an elaborate plan in case there was an attack on the president. The lines of duty had been clearly demarcated. The Indian team will pursue the attackers while the US team was to ensure that the president made a safe getaway in a waiting chopper. President Clinton arrived by Air Force One at International Airport at New Delhi on 19th March 2000. He drove straight to the hotel and caught up on sleep. On 20th March, Bill emplanned early in the morning for Dhaka, Bangladesh, and returned in the evening. Official visit to India began on 21st March. After the grand ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan, he visited Gandhi Smriti and paid floral tribute. Then the President held official dialogue with Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee which was followed by lunch at his residence. In the evening he attended a reception hosted by the Indian President K.R. Narayanan in his honor. On 22nd March, Clinton had a morning meeting with Sonia Gandhi, the Congress President and opposition leader in the Lok Sabha. Then he addressed a joint sitting of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha in the Central Hall of the Parliament. In the afternoon he flew to Agra and gave a talk on environment. After visiting the Taj Mahal, he went to Jaipur and rested at night. On 23rd March, the President went to see a panchayat system at work at Naila village, about 25 kilometers from Jaipur. He was also shown the cooperative there. After seeing the Amer fort, he flew to Ranthambore to see the tiger sanctuary there. Then he returned to Jaipur for night halt. On 24th March, he left for Hyderabad. There he saw high-tech city and a health program. From Hyderabad he flew to Mumbai where he had a meeting with FICCI and young entrepreneurs. On 25th March, Clinton was given a warm send-off to pay a 5-hour visit to Islamabad, Pakistan, and from there he headed back to America. From politician to the bellboys at his hotel in Delhi, everyone he met was charmed by Clinton's big and easy smile and his warm personal manner. And they did want to meet him. Even Delhi's chatterati, used to driving up in their Mercs and BMWs, allowed themselves to be loaded into a bus so they could attend an exclusive reception at the American ambassador's house. India's elected representatives, many of whom rail frequently against the US, fell over themselves, pushed and shoved to shake his hand. Exuding warmth and friendliness, the US president won his way into the hearts of Indians and signaled a major shift in policy towards India. Raj Chengappa wrote in India Today in Parliament that morning, Clinton came across as a soulful speaker, shorn of the arrogance that characterized most Americans in power, subsuming his role as a global headmaster, willing to laugh and be laughed at, pandering to India's inflated ego and appealing to the country's rectitude. It was diplomacy at its mellifluous best. The 1,000-odd parliamentarians, both present and past, knew that it was a decisive moment in the relationship between the two countries. As Clinton walked to the exit, suddenly, as if the dam of hostility had been breached, almost everyone wanted to shake his hand. Some of the MPs even climbed on benches to reach out to him, and a Tamil Nadu MP wrapped a colourful angavastram around his neck. It was as if half a century of rancor and suspicion that had marred relations between the two countries were being washed away by the flood of goodwill that Clinton had created. Thus the US president's visit was not just hoopla, it held the promise of significant shift in relations between the two countries. Hindi meaning of hard vocabulary.